This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com, featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Later in the hour, we're going to have somebody on that I bet you have seen at one point or another in your life if you're from Los Angeles, but you probably don't know who it is. That is coming up. But as we begin this 6 o'clock hour, it is a pleasure to welcome on State Senator Tony Strickland. And Senator Strickland, thanks for jumping on the show today.
Well, Fred, it's an honor, and thank you so much for having me.
I want to start with this, because you see things from the state level. And Mayor Bass made a comment that crime in Los Angeles is basically down, I think it was 60%. Now, when you read that, you think, wow, that's incredible. When you heard that, Senator, what did you think?
I think she's out of touch, and she's like the modern-day Marie Antoinette, just out of touch with everyday citizens in Los Angeles. And if you actually look at the numbers, property crime's up 7%, burglary's up 7% in L.A. Violent crime in L.A. is higher than it was 10 years ago by 16%. And so I was shocked when she actually made that statement.
Okay, but why would she make that statement then? And why would it be reported? If these is what you're saying is true, then why didn't anybody check it before it was reported?
You got me. Like they always try to spin. And again, I look at the record. Don't look at the rhetoric, and look at the actual numbers, and talk to people who are in Los Angeles and ask them if they feel they're more safe today than they were, 4 to 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised when I saw it, but I took it at face value. To be quite honest with you, I'm saying, well, why would they make that up?
Well, a lot of times people just don't follow up the numbers, and there's ways to spin certain numbers, but the fact of the numbers is, I just told you, property crime's up 7%, burglary's up 7%, and violent crime in L.A. is, after the last 10 years, is up 16%. So, and at the same time, the California legislature didn't fully fund Proposition 36 that would actually make crime illegal again in California and actually fund public safety. I think the most essential role of government is public safety, to keep people safe. From the local level to the state level to the federal level, it's national security.
Senator, can you talk about the lack of funding for Prop 36? Explain that to me.
So Prop 36 was passed by the voters in November,
right. And
what it pretty much said is they want to make crime illegal again. We used to have these smash and grabs where people could go in the broad daylight and take up to $1,000 and without being prosecuted. And obviously it didn't work for Californians. And so we put Prop 36 on the ballot. It passed 70% of the vote, 7-0, and all 58 counties. I've been doing this a long time. I can't recall the last initiative that passed every county. Even the most liberal counties of San Francisco and Marin said they want to support Prop 36. And so it passed overwhelmingly. And so the voters think, okay, it's going to be implemented. But Governor Newsom refused to put money in the state budget to implement Prop 36, the will of the voters. It takes about $400 million a year in order to fund it. I will give credit to State Senator Tom Umberg from the Democratic side. He pushed hard, but they got $100 million for 3 years, and they put zero money in probation, which is an essential part of the initiative. And so really they're not funding it, and I think this should be the first thing that we fund, and is to keep people safe across the state of California. And instead of funding that, they put $750 million in Bay Area Transit. They put $50 million in order to sue the federal government every time Donald Trump does an executive order. And I just think their priorities are out of whack, and it's not good for the people of California.
The thing I was confused by is when they allowed that in the first place, the smash and grab. Well, if it's $999, no worries. Go ahead. Take it and run, and you're fine. I couldn't believe they even started that when they did.
I couldn't either. And again, they were able to do that per retail store. So they could do it one store here, the next store here. I never thought we'd have a society where people in the broad daylight could go into a retail store and just take everything and walk out the door without any accountability to it. And so this was the response. Prop 36 was the response to those initiatives, and I'm going to keep continuing to talk about it and keep pushing, because I think the most essential role of government is keeping people safe.
So if the governor decides in the budget not to fund it, is he thumbing his nose at the people?
Oh, it's a slap in the face. We finalized the budget, and what it ended up being is $100 million for 3 years. And so it's a slap in the face to everybody that worked hard on that initiative. All 70% of Californians who said, I want to make this a top priority. It's a slap in the face to all the voters. And I firmly believe the governor and the supermajority legislature, most of them are out of touch with everyday citizens.
Can you talk for a second, Senator, about voter ID, what that means here in this state?
Well, I think when you look at voter ID, UC Berkeley did a study, and it said 71% of the people supported having a proof of citizenship and voter identification laws. In fact, most of the states across the country have voter ID laws, and when you look at other nations, they almost all have voter identification laws. And so I'm co-chairing an initiative in 2026 to bring voter ID to California. In fact, it's not a Republican-Democrat issue. In fact, 71% of Californians support this. So overwhelming Democrats, independents, and Republicans support voter ID. The only people that don't are Governor Newsom and some of the folks up in Sacramento. So we're going to take it right to the people of California. And again, when you look at since 2000, 3 presidential candidates have called in question the election outcome. Our democracy doesn't work if people don't have faith in the election outcome. And this is a way for people to have more faith in the election outcome. And Fred, almost everywhere you go, from a plane to getting prescription medicine, you have to show your identification. I believe you guys should have to show your identification in order to vote. So
if that's the case, why would the governor or anyone else say this is a bad idea?
Well, the governor says, a lot of folks just don't have identification, and it's a way to suppress election turnout. But when you look at states like North Carolina and other states who brought in voter ID laws, that's just hogwash. The numbers say differently, because when you have voter ID laws in other states, is actually increased voter participation in those states. So when you look at the actual numbers, his argument doesn't pan out.
All right. Well, listen, Senator, thanks for taking the time. This was an awfully quick interview, but I really appreciate you making time on a Friday night.
Well, Fred, as someone who grew up in Southern California, it's just an honor to talk to you. I'm a sports junkie, and I think the world of you, and you're a great person who's made Los Angeles a great place to live.
Oh, you're the best. All right, State Senator Tony Strickland, thanks so much.
Thanks, Fred, for having me.
Okay. Isn't that interesting when you hear about it? The will of the people. This is what the people want. Okay, well, that's good. What the people want. This is what I want. This is my decision. So whatever you want isn't quite as important as what I want. I don't know. Somehow that just doesn't work for me. When we come back, we're going to talk to somebody that you've seen but may not know.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
I was just thinking, listening to Handel and his look ahead. Obviously you can't see because it's radio. I've seen him in the morning. I see what he looks like. You don't want to see what I see. You don't need to see that. You don't want to carry that image with you. I mean, this guy is wearing these shorts. It looks like he should be down on the beach with a metal detector, right? And he's got those sandals. Am I wrong? You guys see him walking around here.
Socks with the sandals, maybe?
Occasionally, yeah.
Nice. That's a nice look.
Angel, you've seen that, right?
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. By the way, Angel Martinez doing traffic today. And
thank you.
Well, thank you for finally jumping in and being part of the show.
Well, I didn't want to talk over you or anything. I've been waiting for the right time to jump in. So Here I am.
Jeez, Angel.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord. What is it I have to say that's so important? I want you to be a part of this. Angel, how long have you been doing the traffic?
Oh, wow. On KFI, I've been doing it for about 20 years.
When you got into the business, did you think, here's what I want to do? There's a lot of possibilities for me. I could end up doing anything. My deal is I want to do traffic. Was that your dream when you got into the business?
It really wasn't. It just kind of happened that way. And the funny thing is, I was thinking back and, considering what you're saying right now. And I remember when I was a little kid, my mom would listen to some other stations in the morning and those traffic reporters would come on. And, deep down, I thought it was kind of cool. So I'm like, wow, they know their way around every place in Los Angeles. That's kind of cool. But that's about as deep as it goes. I just, fell into it and have some opportunities to work with some really cool people and have a lot of fun.
What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you doing traffic?
The weirdest thing that's happened doing traffic.
I mean, did you get a sig alert wrong or anything like that?
Oh, all the time.
Okay.
All the time. But I just go with it because I don't want it to sound like I made a mistake.
No.
People figure it out.
Yeah. Well, thank you for jumping on here, and it's great working with you today.
Oh, thanks. I'm happy you're in.
Oh, thank you. I want to bring somebody on now. Now, I'm telling you, I'll bet at one point or another you've seen him, but you probably don't know who he is. All right. His name is Jay Flats. Jay, how are you doing, man?
I'm great, Fred. How are you?
Good. Okay. So how do you know Jay Flats? Why do you know him? Where have you seen him? We've known him for years, but where have you seen him? If you were ever at an LA Kings game, Jay Flats was the guy, and this is how I think, Jay, you're known in LA. Jay Flats was the guy that was sort of the in-stadium host, the guy that ran around with a microphone and talked to people. Is that where your career began?
Yeah, I think that's where most people would go, oh, you mean the Kings guy? Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. How long did you do that?
I had 10 amazing seasons, 2008 to 2018, and the team, they won the Cup twice. I got to ride in championship parades. I got to ride down Figueroa on a longboard skateboard with a giant Kings flag. It was unbelievable. It was a job that came out of nowhere, really. I got a job on the promo team, and I spoke up and said, I want to do the hosting, and there was no host. And my boss said, don't mess up, and it turned into 10 seasons.
What kind of weird stuff happened to you when you were doing that?
Well, at first, nobody knew my name, and they would just yell at me, yo, Seacrest, get out of the way.
Seacrest.
But then they quickly realized, oh, that's the guy who's going to decide who gets free stuff. We better like this guy.
Yeah, I bet. And you did. You worked the crowd, you walked around, and that turned into a career. You do warm-up work and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I used to do audience warm-up for shows like American Idol and Dancing with the Stars, and sometimes I would do back-to-back where we'd be live on the American Idol set from 5 to 7, and I would get in my car and drive to Staples Center as fast as I could for a 7:38 puck drop.
Jay Flats is our guest. How difficult is it doing warm-up? I mean, your job, your responsibility is to get the crowd and work them into a frenzy, right? Each and every break?
Yeah, every break or right before you go live. There's really nothing better than live TV because you know exactly what time you're done. And for me, it was something I saw when I got to LA in 2000. I went to some TV shows and I noticed, ooh, this is a job I could do. I can do this. And I was in the right place at the right time, and I've been doing it for over 20 years.
Okay, so the reason you're on today, aside from the fact that, we're buddies, but you called me this week and you told me something. I said, oh, my God, this will be a cool thing to do on KFI. I don't know how many people realize that game shows like Price is Right and Wheel of Fortune actually have live stage shows they do, and they travel around the country, and they go to casinos on the East Coast or the South or theaters, and you're actually playing The Price is Right, or you're actually playing Wheel of Fortune, but it's sort of the road version of the game. And you just found out that you're going to do the road version of Wheel of Fortune, right?
I am. I'm very excited to join alongside Mark L. Wahlberg and split up a 60-city tour of the U.S. and Canada. We're getting to places like Texas and New Orleans. I get to perform at Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. That's the area that I grew up in, and I've got friends and family that'll get a chance to come see me live. I'm super excited.
Okay, so I know you're just getting the details, but you've watched Wheel of Fortune. What was the audition like for this?
I got very lucky. Jeff Palmer is an executive producer with Right Angle Entertainment, and he reached out to me and said, your name came up a few times, which, I try to stress in entertainment, it's about relationships. People love to say it's who you know. It's the other way. It's who knows you. So they reached out to me, and I said yes, because I'm a yes guy. Give me an opportunity. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm a yes guy. So I said yes, and Jeff kept pitching me, and I go, Jeff, I've already said yes. What's next? And they got me on tape, and I guess there were a few people that had to approve, and I think one of the higher-ups said, oh, the guy from the Kings? Love that guy. Yeah, let's have him on the tour. So that Kings job still affects my daily entertainment career.
All right, do you have a minute? Can you stay a little longer?
Absolutely.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com, featuring Anna Bay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anna Bay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Our guest is Jay Flatch. Jay, thanks for hanging around.
Of course. I love being here on Drive Time. I have actual SIG-alert updates for Angel. Traffic is heavy on the 2, the 5, the 15, the 105, the 405, 605, the 10, the 210, the 134, the 101, the 110, the 50, the 118, downtown, west side, and the valley. Traffic is bad everywhere.
All right, good job.
Oh, thank you so much. I was wondering about those, so thank you.
Yeah, what you don't know is Jay flies around in his own private helicopter and just keeps an eye on things, and that's how he knows it's this way.
It's a lot of pressure, but somebody's got to do it.
So if you're just joining us, jumping on, Jay was the guy you saw at the Kings games for years. He was the in-stadium host, and he's actually turned this into a pretty good career. He does warm-up for television shows. What was the show that moved to New York? You did that, too. Who was it? Kelly Clarkson?
Absolutely, yeah. I got a chance to work with an incredible team, the Kelly Clarkson Show, at Rockefeller Center in the same hallway across from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. Okay. And now he is going to be the host of Wheel of Fortune, which travels around the country. We were talking about it before the break. It travels everywhere, and you mentioned Foxwoods in Connecticut, where I have worked as well in the past. Is it just like the TV show? How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, you show up to the show. You can go early and get the VIP passes where you take a picture with the wheel and meet the hosts, and everybody who attends the show has a chance to win. And they also have this new thing they're setting up on the tour where you can actually send in your audition to try to be on the TV show with Seacrest and Vanna White. So you play the game live in a concert hall or a casino or wherever? Is that what happens? Yeah, it's basically the live theater version of the show with real prizes. There's trips to Paris and to Hawaii. And then there's like a match. If someone wins the bonus round, someone in the audience will also win that same amount. So don't leave. Stick around to the end because at any point, someone could win in the audience. And when you travel around, is it one show per spot? I think some cities you do multiple visits. Like I know when I'm in Foxwoods, I'll be there for 2 nights in a row. But it's a busy tour. That's why I'm blessed to split it up with Mark L. Wahlberg. He's actually in Vegas this weekend to kick off the tour. I'm going to go to Vegas next weekend at the Paris Hotel and watch and observe Mark in action. And then in September, I'll take over the beginning part of the tour, and then we split it up all the way up to Christmas Eve is like the last day. And there's actually a week here in SoCal, the week of November 6th. Mark's doing that part of the tour, but it's all over SoCal. So if you just go to wheeloffortunelive.com, the schedule's up, the dates, the cities. I'm overwhelmed. I'm so excited.
But Jay, is it one show per night? So it's one 30-minute show. Is it a half hour just like TV?
I know at the Paris Hotel this weekend and next weekend, Mark is doing 2 shows a night back to back. But most of the time on the road, yes, one show, one shot at winning money.
30 minutes, just like TV.
Yeah, we run it pretty close to there. It's exciting. You get in, you see some pre-show. There's going to be a warm-up guy. There's a guy named Cody who's been doing it a long time. He's incredible, and he'll get everybody hyped up. And then at some point, I'll come out and do what I always love to do, which is give away other people's things.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, how do you travel around? I'm really fascinated by this. They do this live on the road. So is it a tour? How do you move around? Do you fly from city to city? How does it work?
Well, you're going to have to hit the highways, even if there's traffic, and look for the Wheel of Fortune tour bus. We're going to be on the tour bus, on and off the tour bus for months. I know I'll probably be on the East Coast, mostly in Florida, for the whole month of December on the tour bus.
But you travel on the tour bus?
Yeah, you do a show, you get on the bus, go to the next city, do another show. Everybody wants the wheel.
Yeah, well, I know there's not a lot of heavy lifting involved, to be quite honest, but that's pretty grueling, isn't it? That you do a show, you're on the bus that night, and off and running you go, you're sleeping on the bus. It's like you're in a rock band.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting way to live. I did it 17 years ago. I traveled as a public address announcer for the Harlem Globetrotters basketball team, and I was on and off the road for 2 years.
What was that like, traveling with the Globetrotters?
I mean, it's amazing to show up to a sports venue where everyone's rooting for you. Like, no one's ever rooting against the Trotters.
Did they tell you what to say? Was there a script, or did you just ad-lib it every night?
I mean, it was definitely a scripted basketball show where, oh, no, the Globetrotters are down by 3 at the end of the third quarter. Is tonight the night they lose? No, they have an amazing comeback in the fourth quarter, and they win by a landslide.
But I'm trying to remember. There were a few times, and when they were the Washington Nationals, I think. I can't remember. Because they were the New Jersey Generals and then the Washington Nationals. Both of those were the teams that played against them. There were a couple of times, I don't know if you were doing it then, that the Globetrotters actually lost.
Yeah, I did 187 games with the Trotters in 35 states and 12 countries, and we won every single night. I've heard rumors of real games where it was really close, and all of a sudden it feels very rigged at the last minute because the Trotters don't lose, but they won every single night when I was traveling with them.
Yeah, because I can imagine that there were some times, if we could look it up, I don't know, but there were some times the Trotters, and if you don't know, and if you're not of a certain generation, the Harlem Globetrotters would travel around the world, and for today's world, they were kind of the Savannah Bananas of basketball. They started it,
yeah.
And they'd travel around. They'd always win. They would do tricks. They'd put people up in the crowd. They'd bring people down on the court, put a referee shirt on somebody, and they always won. But there were a few times that they got beat. How that happened, I don't know, because they were never supposed to lose, ever.
They were not supposed to lose.
And I'm wondering now, after they would lose a game or two, because they all traveled together. I mean, the opponent played every game. I'm wondering, after they lost, if they just fired everybody on the other team and said, get the hell out of here. You're not supposed to win. This is not about you. Just go out there and basically take a dive every night.
Well, I will admit to you that when I went in for training, I saw the Globetrotters who are trained to win, and then I watched the Washington Generals who train how to lose.
You know,
I don't know. I don't know if you get more demoralizing than no matter what you do, you will lose every single night.
You know what? I called them either the Washington Nationals or the New Jersey Generals, and they were the Washington Generals. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
How do you train somebody to lose? What did you observe?
There were like certain dribbling drills where all of a sudden the general players forgot how to play defense, and the trotter guys are running circles around them, or all of a sudden this guy who was 4 for 4 at 3-pointers is now 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter. He can't hit a shot. To kids, it's amazing. But to adults, they're going, all right, so they're tanking. They're throwing the game.
I can't believe they actually practiced losing. They actually worked on it. You guys know what you're getting paid for. And at this point in the game, this is what's going to happen. But the kids did love it, Jay. You know that. They went crazy.
Oh, man, I saw the Trotters when I was a kid, and I saw them on Scooby-Doo. So if you had told me as an adult I'd get to travel and go, the Harlem Globetrotters, I would have been like, what?
That is so cool. All right, congratulations on the Wheel of Fortune gig. That's really big, really impressive, and it shows somebody who was just working in the stadium crew, working in the promotions department, wanted the job, had an idea, and you've turned it into an entire career. So congratulations and much success with this.
Thank you, Fred. And just go to wheeloffortunelive.com so you can keep an eye on where I'm at.
All right, there he goes, Jay Flats. He'll be traveling the country very, very soon.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anna Bay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anna Bay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slip covers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Fred Roggin in today for Tim Conway Jr. I want to thank Tim, everybody here at KFI for giving me the shot today. It's always fun to sit in. So if you don't know, and why wouldn't you, I actually work about 25 feet from here on AM 570, the Dodger station. I'm the midday guy with Rodney Pete. And they asked me if I wanted to do this today, and I always like the opportunity to sit in at KFI because it's different, it's fun. And they said, and to, entice you more, we'll find a fill-in for your show so you can do this one. I said, I'm in. Just like that. I am in.
Nice.
Yeah, Steph, Mark, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your help today. Matthew did a great job producing. Steph, anything you want to talk about? What did we learn today?
I really just, when it came to the one that really spoke to me was about the cyclists, just having to deal with them on the street. And, I get there has to be a mutual respect for each other, but you also both need to be observant of each other. Like we can't just be, they can't just think they're a car when you're going against a tank, like you said. And we also just can't treat them like, just running them over. We gotta have a little bit of respect on both sides. Like they can't just think that they own the road,
right? And
we can't just sit there and think that we own the road and just taking them over.
The funniest thing about that topic, and I guarantee you, more people get fired up about that, riding your bike on the streets, and who has the right of way. Again, cyclists believe we have paid our tax dollars, the roads belong to us, and they do. No one is arguing that. No one is questioning that. On the other side of the coin, just because the road belongs to you doesn't mean somebody in a car can't hit you.
Exactly.
And then what good is the road to you? Because you're not going to be in it for a while, because you're going to be out. Mark, what did you learn today?
I learned that you are a revered figure in Los Angeles media.
No, please.
And rightfully so. We got to do this again.
Please.
This was fun.
You know what I learned? I learned for the first time I know somebody that got hit with a rubber bullet by the police. That was like, are you kidding me? Really?
I'd offer to show you the spots, but then I'd probably have to take a trip to HR.
Yeah, no. And we've all been trained. We've all been trained here.
You sure have.
Can I tell you a quick story to wrap it up? So the video changes every couple of years. And here, all of us at iHeart have to go through training, harassment training, things like that. So a couple of years ago, I'm watching the video. And if you guys remember, there was somebody by the copy machine. All right. And anyway, she was bending over at the copy machine. This is how this works, by the way. So they put the video up and they give you these situations. You look at them and then you determine what you should or shouldn't do. She bends over at the copy machine. There's a couple of guys standing there watching. And, you know, one of them says to the other one, hey, look at that kind of thing. And then the thing goes up on the screen. Was that appropriate? Was that inappropriate? Should you report it to a manager? Right? We take these. They're like an hour long and you got to do them. And you think, well, that's just common sense. Anyway, so there was a girl at the copy machine. So I'd finished the training. I go home, and I go across the street to Foreman's. Foreman's is the bar on Riverside Drive in Toluca Lake, right? A lot of people hang out at Foreman's. So I go in, and I walk up to the bar, and I'm going to order a glass of wine. So I look at the bartender, and I'm staring at her, and she comes up and says hello, and I go, oh, my God. She goes, what? You're the girl at the copy machine. It was you. You were the girl. She goes, yes, I was. I was at the copy machine. She's an actress, right? And she booked it as a gig.
No way.
Yeah. She was the girl at the copy machine.
That's awesome.
And I thought, oh, my God. I said, do people recognize you? And she goes, well, sometimes, you know, if you work at iHeart, you know me.
You know, yeah.
And then she goes, well, do you want me to bend over like I did at the copy machine?
Hello.
I said, no, that's okay.
You're like, no, I just spent an hour finishing the training. No,
Right. What, you passed on that?
Yeah, no, because I thought, oh, God, that's all I need is her and everybody laughing, and then somebody sees it, and then because, you know, once you take the harassment training, just as you listen, you should know this, that applies everywhere, not just in this building.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great life lessons. I've become a huge fan of corporate training videos, and I wish I had saved or stolen the ones that I had to endure when I was in my first newspaper job with Gannett. There is some found comedy gold.
Yeah, and the deal is we have to take these. And the reason is because after you take them, then if you do something, the company can fire you. If we don't take these and then you do something, you can go, I didn't know. How did I know? Nobody told me I wasn't supposed to do that, right? That's why we take these training sessions.
Yeah, it's to keep them.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but they actually discourage violence in the workplace. Who knew?
Hey, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard that one too.
Yeah.
Hey, what should you do? Mike seems a little off today. Should you report it to your manager, talk to Mike, or yell? Yeah. All right, guys, thank you. What a terrific afternoon. I really appreciate all your help.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks to the folks at KFI. Folks, have a terrific weekend. Tim is back on Monday, and Mo Kelly is next on KFI AM 640.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anna Bay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.